There are some who say our Constitution is dead. Let it be known the Articles of Freedom is not about the resuscitation of a dead Constitution. The Constitution still towers over the wrecks of our national life. So resurrection, not resuscitation, is the message of the Articles of Freedom. Its authors are those whose heartbeat is one with the soul of America, her Constitution. Rest assured, we are not fanatics. We are not extremists. We do not seek revolution or anarchy. As a people, we need to ask, who are we? Who do we want to be? What kind of country do we want to leave to our children and future generations of Americans? Shall we let our Constitution and its essential underlying principles be slaughtered by the powers of this world? Will we tolerate tyranny merely to be comfortable? What does a free people do when confronted with a government that refuses to honor and may even systematically scheme to evade the boundaries and limitations established for it by we the people? If the people fail to act, we will end a chapter in human history that began when a people reigned sovereign and the chains of a written constitution limited and bound their government to their service to secure their rights, liberties, and freedoms. We, the people, do have a choice. You and I have a choice. More and more of us, with each waking day, have requested answers, but we do not get them. We have tried to stop the wrongs taking place, but the violations continue. Now we offer these remedial instructions to our government. We insist that they obey the Constitution, which, after all, is a strongly worded set of principles to govern the government, not the people.
Yes.
By the terms and provisions of the Constitution, we, the people, have formed the government and mandated the government to act in certain ways. In addition, the people have also purposely and markedly restricted and prohibited the government from acting in certain other ways. But for decades, over many administrations, our elected officials have been ignoring these prohibitions and mandates, doing whatever they and the will of the majority dictate and desire. The nature of our resistance is clear. It is not an act of anarchy or rebellion. Rather, it is an act of resistance to a government that is violating the purposes for which our Creator has ordained our civil government. We are not anti-government, we're not anti-war, we're not anti-tax, we are not anti-immigrant, we are not anti-law enforcement. We are merely, simply pro-Constitution and anti-fraud. We are against the extremists in government. We are pursuing peaceful reconciliation and petition. It has been our presidents, Congress, and the courts who have refused to respond to our petitions for redress of these grievances in violation of the First Amendment, and who continue to violate and undermine the supreme law of our land. We have no desire for resistance or violence of any kind. However, in the people's peaceful attempts to have answers, the people's petitions and appeals have been met with force, and in some instances, with near military force. The defense of our homes, families, properties, and possessions is a most important point to us. It is our heritage. It is our right. There is not the most distant thought of subverting the government or of hurting the interest of the people of America, but of defending our personal rights, freedoms, and liberties from unjust, unconstitutional, uncivil encroachment. There is not the least desire of engaging in civic actions against the leaders of the branches until it becomes absolutely necessary, and indeed, it will have been their choice. Our political leaders know that our cause is just. They know that we, the people, struggle for that freedom to which all men are entitled, that we struggle against oppression, seizure, plunder, extortion, and more than savage barbarity. We are not moved by any light or hasty suggestion of anger or revenge. Through every possible change of fortune, we adhere peaceably to this determination. Our property and happiness have been attacked. Our self-defense against an aggressor government is righteous. Our civic or civil action will be for the cause of civil justice, a righteous struggle undertaken in defense of our property, our happiness, and our families. It is to oppose the invasions of usurped power. We will bravely suffer present hardships and face future dangers to secure the rights of humanity and the blessings of freedom for generations yet unborn. It is our obligation as responsible citizens of this country to set a proper value upon and to defend to the utmost our just rights and the blessings of life and liberty. Without this personal commitment, a few unprincipled individuals would tyrannize the people and make the passive multitude the slaves of their power. Thus it is that civic action is not only justifiable, but an indispensable duty to correct these wrongs. It is upon these principles that we are resisting what is taking place in our government, and we will not back down. We await the day when the system of governance in this nation is restored and the Constitution is obeyed. We will be a positive, righteous, and prosperous nation again. Today, delegates to Continental Congress 2009 and others from each of the several states serve this document titled Articles of Freedom, with its remedial instructions on our federal government and state government officials, placing them on notice that we, the people of America, believe them to be in violation of their oath of office and the Constitution for the United States of America, and we trust they will either respond to our petitions for redress or comply with the remedial instructions contained in the Articles of Freedom. Thank you.